Okay, guys and gals, I'm working on my F150. It's an 87 model, and I've pulled the electronic ignition control module off the side of the distributor. These models have it on the side. Some of your newer models will have it mounted on the driver's side firewall. Driver's side fender. And what I've done is I've hooked my meter up the ground wire connection of my meter to this computer module, and right now I'm wanting to check in steps this module out of my truck, the PIP in and the PIP out. The PIP in would be here, and the PIP out would be there. And I found it easier just to hook up a ground wire to the negative lead of my meter, and then use my positive lead to get down inside this, because these pins are really down in there. So you have to be very careful not to touch the other ones or you'll get a false reading. So just touch the one you're needing to do. Anyway, what I have is a new module and one out of my truck. And like I said, I've connected the first connection, the PIP in, would be this one right here, and the PIP out I'm going to touch with my meter probe, and I have it set on my meter, set on the 200 scale of resistance. So what I have is my lead connected to the PIP in, right here, and with my meter probe I'm going to touch the connection that's right on the top, would be this one right here, the PIP out, and I should read less than 150 ohms. Have my meter set to 200 ohms. So turn the light on, lasts for 2 seconds, and the reading I get on the meter is 100.5. If I ground my meter to the negative lead, which is attached to the PIP, this is not in the procedure that I'm using, but I just wanted to check the ground is like 1.5, 1.4. So I have, when I'm checking this module, PIP in, PIP out, I get about 100.5. Now that's on the one I pulled out of my truck. That's the old one. Now the new one I'm going to do the same procedure to. PIP in, touch the topmost connection, and then I'm getting 102.1. Okay, the second step, I've connected the PIP power, middle one, and I want to go the third one up from the bottom. By the way, on my drawing, I want to have this is the side with the connection part. You can see that right there. Okay, now I want to go the third one up from the bottom. I'm still on the 200 ohm scale. If I said volts, I'm in ohms. And I want to go the third pin up from the bottom. And I'm checking it. I'm getting nothing. Let me see if my meters are still working. Yeah, it's still working. Check it again. Okay, I'm getting nothing out of that. So let's go to the new one. Same procedure, PIP power and TFI power, the middle one. Third pin up from the bottom, which would be this one right here. And it is 87 point whatevers. 0.120, 86.9. Anyway, I'm getting a reading on it. I did not on this one. I did not on the old one. the new one, I get a reading. Okay. Third test, I want to hook up the ground, which is on the end, and I want to check the pip in, which is the third one over here. I move my meter up to 20k ohm scale, and I'm reading 15.7. It's supposed to be greater than 500, and that's definitely greater than 500. What would I? 15.7. Okay, the new one, ground, pip in, 10.11. So, on the next step, number 4, I have it as ground and ignition ground. So ground would be here, ignition ground would be the bottom pin. I've moved my meter back down to the 200 ohm scale, and it says to be less than 5 ohms, and it's like 1.3. So yeah, the old one is saying less than 5 ohms. Let's see if the new one says less than 5 ohms. Ground and bottom pin. Ignition ground is 2.12. Okay, they both read about the same there. And for the last test, this needs to be pip power and pip in. That would be these two right here, pip power, pip in. And it is between 900 and 15,000 ohms. Jeez Louise. 915,000. I'm going to go to the 20k ohm scale. Pip power would be the middle one. This is the old one module. Pip power would be the middle one, and then pip in would be this one right here, and 1.08, so that would probably be 1080, and pip power and pip in 1110. So those are fairly close. So where does the bad module show bad? If you remember, it was pip power and TFI power less than 150 ohms. That would be the middle connector, and then the third up from the bottom, TFI power, and I get absolutely nothing on my meter. Make sure the meter's working. It is. Okay, so that's where this module was bad, and I'm going to put a new ignition module in my 87 F150. I already knew this was bad, so I revealed it. So suspense is over on the painter's tape. So if you want to, you can use this chart. I just got it out of a book and redid it to my own way of steps and all. And you can check your ignition module if you're having trouble with your truck. Hopefully you're not. They're good old trucks, and when they're running, you just love them. They're like an old horse. Very good friend. I'm going to go and put this new one in. I'm going to put some grease. My module will come with some grease in the packaging here, and that is a special heat sink type of grease to help the module do its job of dissipating the heat down there on the side of the distributor. So hope all your repairs go well, and thank you all for subscribing and watching. Cars, Trucks, and Detours. Bye for now.